Show starts in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to Can't Clip It with Jesse Ralph and Evan Dubois. I'm Jesse Ralph.
And I'm Evan Dubois.
Really? You went for the... Did you at least flash the logo so we might get sponsored?
We're not going to get sponsored.
Our guest this week is a very funny, the hilarious VAL. She's taping her debut comedy album September 15th and 16th. 7 p.m. shows at Comedy Bar Danforth. Please welcome VAL.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks.
That's your camera.
Yes.
I don't think that camera can see.
Yeah, never look directly down the lens, Jesse. Amateur. I'm waving at Metallica over here.
Yeah.
You're waving at posters of also Evan Dubois.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of Evan in here.
There's a lot of Cedric on those posters as
There's
well.
a lot of Cedric on there, too.
I need to start putting my face up there somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you
Evan-
live here, too?
No.
No? Okay.
I do not. This is just the podcast space
I
that we
stole
have.
his painting, though.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing in this room, I think.
Damn it. I'm right here.
Besides, I mean, your album it's a cute cover.
Thank you. Yeah, we decided to hide it behind Jesse because...
Because I am jealous. I'm the only person who is not recording an album on this podcast this week.
You'll get there.
You're honing it. You're polishing it.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
opposed to us just fucking...
Yeah, just willy-nilly pumping out content. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Val, so you've been doing comedy, what now, 11 years and finally recording an album. And I know people have been asking you probably for the last 4 or 5 years about it since you've been headlining. How does it feel to finally go through with it?
I mean, first of all, I've been doing comedy for 17 years.
Oh my goodness.
Youngin'. Yeah. So fucking...
That's
show
how
some
old I
respect.
am. No.
yeah. I celebrate my anniversary on Evan's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
more
it's,
people go to your thing for sure. No one comes to my birthday. Sorry, continue.
It's been a long time coming, man. I mean, you tell yourself for the longest time that you're not ready, and I don't know if you guys are perfectionists too, but like,
Yeah.
it's weird being a perfectionist who improvises. Like, you've
Yeah.
seen my act. I fuck around a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's never ready in my head because it's never polished because I never do anything to try to polish it.
Okay.
I'm always like, every joke is kind of different every time I do it. So I'm like, eventually I'll figure it out. But
Yeah, no, I can see the struggle too because a lot of the fun of watching your set, like in my opinion, is how free you are up there and like how open you are to like taking in what the audience is feeling and putting out that energy, you know, and when you do that, you can end up with stuff that's fantastic, but it's also not what you might have wanted to record.
exactly.
You're like, but I didn't do the bit because I was having too much fun with that couple. And then you're like, now I have to put out that crowd work and no one's ever going to hear my perfect bit, you know?
But even like it's so contextual. Sometimes I look through like footage, and especially if it's a longer set, if it's like anything more than 20 minutes or something like that,
Yeah.
it's the improv is like woven into long form style, like callbacks and shit like that. So it's hard to clip for social media because it's all
Yeah.
kind of contextual.
Yeah, and it's weird to do like the part of the short that's like, and then 5 minutes later, and then it cuts to the
Right?
part where you do the fun callback, and they
Yeah.
didn't get the time in between to make the callback funnier. And yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah, I've tried clipping those videos before where all I'm doing is just typing text.
5 minutes
For
later.
context. You're like, wait, before you see this, there was a guy with a funny hat, and he left, so he doesn't show up at all. But, you know?
He was there, and the camera just wasn't rolling when he was, so we don't know what the hat looks like.
Yeah.
Here's a Google image of something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally.
I remember times when you just pop in at open mics and then just like make fun of the open mic as well as just like how Canadian comedy works.
Yeah.
And there'd be somebody like selling flowers outside, and you'd be like, "That's Mark Breslin scouting the open mic."
I vaguely remember. Was that at like Old Mill or whatever?
Old Sod, yes,
Old
at
Sod.
Etobicoke.
That's it. Yeah.
And it was one of those venues where the doors would like open outside, so it would kind of feel open air if it was nice out.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember there was like the longest mic cord, so you were pretty much outside, like fucking around.
Oh, that shit's my favorite. I've done that like a handful of times where if it's like summertime and we're performing right beside the door and the mic cord is super long, I love disappearing. If there's any way I can disappear from the crowd, it's such a neat little trick. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
You can just have a little conversation with yourself. Obviously, I can't hear if I'm getting laughs.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite things is to like leave in the middle of my set.
Yeah.
And it's way better if they can hear you. You like chit chat to yourself. It's great.
That's hilarious. And then you come back in and like it's a surprise whether or not it went well.
Oh yeah.
You come in sometimes and it's like, I shouldn't have done that. And then sometimes you come in and you're like, sick.
Yeah. Especially, but at that point, it's so selfish. You're like, I'm doing this one for me, you know? So I kind of don't care if it's working or not. And then while I'm out there, it's like this internal clock where you're like, how long is too long? And how long can I stand out here before
Yeah.
it's like, all right, you're being selfish and gratuitous now versus like,
Yeah.
it's that dip. You stay out and you go out and it's funny. You stay out there and it dips, and then you stay out there so long that it becomes funny
Yeah.
again. Classic. It's the Family Guy technique.
Yeah, I was about to say that, the keep it going until it's funny again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are my favorite type of jokes. I like when the mummy thing came out with Stewie. I
Yeah.
thought that was the funniest thing for so long. And now it's so old. And I've heard people like do versions of it in their set, and I'm like, no, that's the Stewie thing. Everyone knows it's the Stewie thing.
Yeah. It's a technique. It's a good tech. Was the mummy thing before the knee thing where he was like, because that was a big one
Yeah,
too.
that was, I don't know. They were
Right?
probably around a similar time.
I feel like they must have just had that joke work, and they go, okay, what can we do like it? I feel
Yeah.
like Family Guy is so underrated for inventing the type of comedy that was, you see it so much in meme culture where it's like me when I do this, and it's like that's all the setup Family Guy jokes
Yeah.
used to do, where it'd be like, that reminds me of Michael J. Fox doing this, and then it would throw to a clip, and it would just be some random Parkinson's joke, but I just remember those so vividly, and now that's just all the internet is, it feels like.
Yeah, well, what Family Guy did well, I think, is they play on the structure of what the joke is.
Yeah.
Like they're aware of what everyone thinks is going to happen with the joke, and they make the joke about the expectation as opposed to the topic they're joking about, I guess.
Yes.
And like my favorite one is there's one scene where Brian kicks Stewie out of the car,
Yeah.
and Stewie goes, well, at least it's not raining, and then some guy comes and stabs him. Which is just, it's the best misdirect, and it plays on what you think is going to happen, because you think it's just going to start raining.
Evan, Family Guy's probably been on the air longer than you've been alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay, Family Guy's been around longer than that, no?
Yeah.
I think they're
like
99.
98, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Damn.
That reminds me of my favorite misdirect joke of all time, and it's so immature. Have you guys ever seen the movie The Dictator with
Yeah.
Yes.
Sacha Baron Cohen?
Yep.
Do you remember the scene where it's so fucking stupid? He's like in between buildings. He's like, what is it called? The slack line? No, not slacklining. He's like on a zip line.
Oh, zipline. Okay.
And then it sags so much in the middle that he just gets stuck in between these two skyscrapers. Like he's like 18 stories in the air. And he has this conversation with the guy on one end in the open window. And he's like, I'm too heavy. I need to take a shit. That's what's stopping me in the middle. So if I take this shit, I'll probably continue. The guy's like, okay, so take your shit. And it cuts to ground level, and there's a woman walking down the street, and this robber grabs her purse and starts running, and the camera is like on the robber, so you think
It's gonna land on
about
the
to get
robber.
thwarted, and it hits the girl in the head, and I don't know why that's so fucking funny to me, but that kind of misdirect, you think like the crime is gonna get
Yeah. But then an
Thwarted.
old lady gets shit on,
But
literally.
the lady gets her purse stolen, and then a bunch of sky shit just lands on her head out of nowhere. You're like, the worst day of her life, man.
That's funny. Apparently, Elon Musk made it so that his ships were pointy because of a scene from that movie. When Sacha Baron Cohen says he wants them pointy. He wants the rockets pointy because, like, I forget the context. Like, it's just better. It's cooler if they're pointy. And Musk was like, yeah, it's a little bit worse to make them pointy, actually, like aerodynamically, but I made it that anyways because he liked the movie.
That tracks for Musk.
Yeah.
I know I just talked about how I loved a scene where a woman gets shit on her head, but like Musk has the humor of a fucking 8-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, that you make the scientists do more work just so you can have pointy rockets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
So
guys
much.
Musk fans or no?
Nah.
I don't have an opinion about enough people, I feel like. I feel like anytime somebody's just too caught up in what like some celebrity or like billionaire's doing, it's just all a mirage of like what's actually going on.
Yeah, totally.
And I see people that drive Teslas, and a lot of them I feel like are just doing it so they're able to sleep while they drive. Like no one can drive a Tesla well. But apparently in Canada, sometimes it's too cold for people to even drive them, which I think is hilarious. Like when it hits -30, you can't like get in, and because it's not like motor, it doesn't heat up because it's electric.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's all this crazy shit about that.
Huh.
Damn.
They
you
don't
like
have
that
some
you-
kind of internal heating system? Can they
I think
science
it's probably
something
like a
up?
diesel vehicle. Like a lot of diesel cars, you have to plug them in the winter so that they kind of stay warm so
Yeah.
you can start it so that your
Then
fuel
they've
doesn't
got like
gel up.
yeah, and then they've got like a start plug for diesel that you've got to like turn the key, and then it will like heat itself, and then you can start it.
Yeah.
Nothing beats good old gas.
I like that you asked about one person, and then I just like went on some rant about nothing, where I'm just like, did you know Teslas are sometimes cold?
Well, now I know all about Teslas.
Well, I think
good.
to your question, your original question, I'm not a fan of Elon Musk, but I do want a Tesla.
Okay. Are they all pointy? Do any of them look normal?
The rockets?
The
Or
cars.
the cars look normal. Yeah.
The cars always feel like something out of Grand Theft Auto to me.
Right.
They're a
Like-
little space
No, I've
agey
seen
and
them.
round.
Yeah.
Rounded.
Yes. Elon Musk, we love you. We would like you to sponsor this podcast. Boost us on x.com.
I like how you go, we love you, and I actively was like, I don't like him.
Yeah, and I really don't like them either, man.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
We're trying to get brand deals. We've got to pretend to like.
Listen, if Tesla sponsors
Pepsi.
this episode, you'll get something out of it as well. I
Yeah,
promise.
you know what? Let's bring Elon on and laugh at all his jokes. We'll be the only ones to ever do so, and it'll be really a beautiful thing
Yeah.
to see him just so happy.
Isn't it wild?
Well-
We went to Queens. We
Oh,
went to
university?
Queens
Yeah.
In Kingston?
Oh,
Yes.
What?
I thought you meant like Queens, New York. Isn't
No,
it
no.
crazy you went to Queens, New York?
No, he went to a Canadian university, and it all makes so much more sense when you hear that.
Huh. Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. What? Okay.
Because just like Elon's degree, Canada isn't real.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I checked out Queens campus. Queens was one of the places that I considered going to university.
Same.
Yeah.
I
Kinda
was going to
suck.
go for criminology. What were you going to go for?
Psych.
Psych.
Yeah.
Fun.
Were you both trying to be Batman?
Does Batman have a psych degree?
I feel like a lot of it.
Imagine
Yeah.
Batman gets to the crime scene and he's like, all right, Joker, have a seat.
Why did no one intervene? Well, of course, because of the bystander effect, which is a common psychological phenomenon. It's a social psychological thing.
I like that both of you are people that if I fuck up when I'm around, I will hear about it for the next 30 seconds. So
Yeah, oh yeah.
strapping in for a fun another however long we go with it.
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see where we're at. We are at 15 minutes. That went
Oh.
fast.
That did.
Yeah.
That's
We're at
been
the
our
halfway
show.
mark. We're in the deep end.
That's it. Thanks, guys. That's as good as it's gonna get, dude. How long have you guys been doing this one for? You don't mind that I take some liberties here, do you?
No.
Absolutely.
We made the little mic stand because everyone is a stand-up on the show, and we thought it's like...
Yeah, see? I like the motion of it.
Yeah.
you know?
I feel like being on the corner, you kind of just got to keep your elbows down, look like you're polite, and then not hold the microphone.
You're making up all these rules.
I am.
You know
don't
you don't
put
have to follow these
Don't put
rules.
yourself in a box, man.
Exactly. Hey, Evan, put your hand on it. Hey, it's okay.
It's okay.
You don't have to live so rigidly. Take it out for a spin.
Yeah,
I
try
don't-
it.
No, now
There
it
you
feels like
go.
I'm working, not having fun with friends, but okay.
Now it feels like you're working. Yeah.
See, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's unsettling. Put it back in.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel right. One of my favorite things.
It's, before you finish that thought, it was funny seeing you so visibly uncomfortable. Just like, oh, man.
Like I'd never held a microphone before. One of my favorite things you used to do on stage, I'm not sure if you still do it, but when you get a guy in the front row to high five you and then you'd go, "You're gay."
I still do that.
Yeah,
I'm still
okay.
converting people.
We can cut that so we're not burning your material.
No, I don't care. Usually the thing is, I go, it's the lead-in is about hormones. I'm like, I'm taking estrogen hormones. It makes my skin really soft. Here, check this out. I got done up for this. Like, shave my arms. Here, touch this. Feel this. Go for it. Yeah. All right. Well, haha, you're gay now. He's gay. And to a varying degree, this is my favorite, is seeing how into it the people get.
Yeah.
Like, if they're a good sport, then they'll oblige, but like some guys are so insecure that they're like and that's what makes it so much better when I'm like, well, you're gay now. Fucking gotcha.
Yeah. And then
Because-
they're unhappy about it, which
Yeah.
is the best part. You
Yeah,
know?
I can totally see in their eyes. They're like, there's a flash of insecurity where they're like, "Is that how it works?" You know? And they're like, "Fuck, am I gay now?"
Are they driving home? They're like, am I going to have to tell my dad about it?
yeah, just reorganizing their whole life on the ride home. Fuck, I'm gay. I guess this changes everything.
No, but I think I told you before, your JFL New Faces set, that it was my favorite one of the set.
Oh, thanks.
I thought Drew Bem's was great as well, but I liked yours a lot, and part of it was because of that joke. Mm-hmm. That joke made me laugh for like a minute, like at home by myself.
Nice.
It was very
cool.
funny.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I killed that one. But it sucked. but it also sucked. It was half capacity.
Oh, COVID.
It was a COVID year, and so JFL was like, the first time I did JFL, I didn't get to like really experience JFL.
Okay.
And it was this huge. It's called Club Soda, and it's this awesome huge theater, and it was half capacity, and so I remember watching back on the video, the YouTube thing, and it really doesn't sound. It sounds like we're all bombing. Don't you think?
Well, when I watched it, I had in mind that it was COVID and that people were lower energy and that there were less people there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, a lot of it, watching it was kind of just, because I watched all of them. And a lot of them were just like really hard to get through because I was like, oh, that's a funny joke and no one's laughing at it.
Yeah.
But you and Drew both did great. I thought you guys both had really good sets, and it didn't feel... Like, it didn't feel when I was watching anyways that it was a COVID set.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah. I saw Drew's. Drew crushed for sure.
Yeah.
And I had a good one.
But you're both so high energy that I'm sure that, like, either
Yeah.
time I've seen you or Drew, it's like, okay, this is going to be a party now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, so it's always like you're going to bring the energy. So I've seen you and Drew both do shows in front of like 3 people and crush, you know, and then the bigger the venue obviously makes it easier. But I feel like there are comics that can get into their own head before a show and be like, there's only 10 people here. And then there's the comics that will just get out there and then be like, I'm going to crush no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, come along for the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of make peace with things as they are.
Yeah.
and change the things you can, and like take full control of the things you can take full control of. And in that
Yeah.
case, it's like your enthusiasm and just how much these people paid to be here. You can't
Yeah.
be bitter about the people who aren't, because that's just so counterproductive. That doesn't make any sense. So like put on
Yeah.
a fucking show for these 3 people, and it's that much more special because like they'll go home and be like, me and 2 other people saw this show and it was like such a treat. We're gonna remember it forever because this comedian like put her fucking back into it,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
No, there is a respect you earn when you care about every show. Mm-hmm. And like I heard this one story about, forgive me, do you know Imagine Dragons?
Yeah.
Before they were famous, they were doing like bar gigs, and like there's a story of like the one they were discovered at. There was only like 3 people in the bar, and
Yeah.
like one of them was like a music producer, and then they killed the shit out of the show. Like they played as good as they would if there were people there.
No
And,
shit.
Yeah, and then they were like, "You guys are really good."
Yeah.
Yeah. You never know who's gonna be there, you know?
Yeah, true.
You know, people say that, and that story is reassuring because I gave up on that idea
Okay.
of like you never know who's gonna be in the crowd. Like, there's never a fucking. What was the producer even doing there with 2 other people?
Yeah, I don't know. It happened to me. Like for when I did my album with Tyler, like I was complaining to Cedric on the drive up to Wasaga Beach. I was like, nobody gives a shit. I'm 12, so no one respects me. I'm like, nothing's ever gonna happen. And Cedric was like, you never know. Someone could be anywhere. And I was like, really? Big producer's gonna be in fucking Wasaga Beach, Cedric. And then we got to Wasaga Beach. I had a good set, and Tyler Morrison was like, you want to do your album with me? And I had to, on the drive home with Cedric, be like, I'm sorry. It was Wasaga Beach. And
That's awesome. You must have crushed it.
yep, the one time.
The one time.
You peaked at 12 years old.
13's been tough.
Teenage years, awkward
yeah.
growing pains. Yeah.
Yeah. I can grow a beard now, so I just look funny.
Yeah. So you both started comedy as teenagers then, right? Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
How do you feel about that?
Old.
How long? Okay. How long have you both been doing it, and what age did you start?
I started for real like 24, 25, and I'm
Okay.
not 30 yet. Mm-hmm. And I think Evan's been at it about the same amount
Yeah,
of time.
I started when I was 18, but like, it's the weird thing where like, do I count COVID? Because
Yeah.
I still did shows, but
Yeah.
like, it wasn't as often as
Yeah.
now or before.
I say we all count COVID.
All right.
Everybody counts COVID.
Then yeah, since I was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, solidarity. It was a
Okay.
shitty couple of years, but we
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
experienced them together.
Okay, we either all collectively count it or we all collectively cut it out of the. Yeah. I get
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, you know, sometimes I still get all self-conscious about how long I've been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think eventually you do make peace with that too. Like, we're all self-conscious about how long we've been doing it because it's like, I wish I were better by now.
Or
Yeah.
wish
It's
you
this
had more.
imaginary
Yeah.
standard we all hold ourselves to. I wish I should be blank by now.
Yeah.
And that kind of thinking is just so poisonous and unnecessary because everybody's on their own track. Everybody's running their own fucking time. You know?
I'm so sorry. You were talking about nice stuff, and I tried to hold the burp back. the
Yeah,
whole time.
it's all right.
Oh my god.
It was boring. I understand. You needed to break it up. I get it. Fuck.
I'm sorry.
Let's see you go off on some wisdom. I'm gonna fart at the end of your fucking thing.
I'm sorry.
First time we have a lady on the podcast and you immediately start burping.
Yeah, come on, man.
Pepsi, I can't help it.
I ghosted a burp earlier because
Yeah?
I'm a gentleman.
I tried to hold it back. I'll do the same thing we did when you're choking. We'll do a slow zoom on my face of me trying to hold back the burp the whole time. I was
Okay.
actively trying my best.
I love that was you holding back. That was like a really deep guttural one. I kind of want to see what not holding it back looks like for you now.
Well, as a 13-year-old boy,
Yeah. We should lay off.
a lot of
You're
things
only
are
a
happening
kid.
in my body. And
Oh,
But yeah, starting at 18, starting that early is like it's a real gift.
yeah, a lot of it was like because I mentioned earlier I was gonna go for like criminology and like become a lawyer or like a detective or something like that. Like that's what I wanted to do. I had straight A's in school. Like I was a good student.
Yeah, don't
And-
laugh. What the fuck is this?
I'm just laughing because I can picture him doing like musical arguments. Just be like, well, if you can see with this evidence, and then he just pulls his guitar out, and that's how you persuade the
Just sing
jury.
a song about like maybe sure yeah he did it, but he has kids. Like he's got to take care of
Under a year.
Yeah. Oh
So-
man, no. Yeah,
Please,
no.
please go on. But just to look someone in the eyes when they're wearing a bandana who is like, I was going to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a Pink Floyd shirt?
Yeah,
Fuck
no,
yeah.
That's fair.
It's
But
not
no.
that I don't believe in Evan's abilities, but just to think of a dude wearing a bandana talking about criminology is like,
yeah. No, totally. But yeah, then I decided I was going to Humber, and they only needed 50s
yeah.
to get in. So I just didn't care about school in grade 12, and my mom was devastated. She's like, "You're not gonna get in for criminology." I'm like, "Oh no." Then I applied for Humber, and they let everyone in. So
Yeah.
that was fun.
I totally relate to that, though. It was like, I was on a track to, my dad is a surgeon,
Yeah.
and everybody thought I was going to follow in his footsteps.
Yeah.
And grades came fairly easy to me, and I worked hard in school. And then eventually high school came around, and I was like, I don't have any friends. I'm going to focus on being a lot cooler this year.
Yeah.
And that includes not trying as hard. So I reprioritized my life, and kids, you don't need good grades to be a success. You don't need good grades to be a success. And don't try hard in school because you can still kind of make something of yourself, okay?
Jesse, you look different in the monitor.
Yeah. This is the new podcast, me and Evan, man.
By God, that's how Evan wants it.
I'm like, oh no, just like the criminology thing, Jesse.
What did you go to school for? Did you go to school?
I went to school for broadcasting, which was not a smart idea.
Hey, well, here we are.
Yeah.
We made it.
Yeah, full circle.
Yeah, finally have a podcast. When I was
Yeah.
listening to podcasts, when I was going to radio school.
I will say talk show. It's a talk
yeah,
show.
talk show, right?
Talk
We
show.
call this a talk show.
It's a talk show.
Cool.
Just because every comic has a podcast, so we want to have a talk show.
Yeah, but when we messaged you about it, I know I said podcast, but that's just to make it more understandable and so that I don't seem like a douche.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I feel lied to. So I kind of don't want to do this anymore.
We'll have
You're
our
like, they
first
totally
walk off
catfished
of the
me. They
set.
said it
yeah.
was a podcast. And then they got there and they're like, welcome to the talk show. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I'm not going to recommend this to anyone.
Yeah.
This is a bag of lies. You've sold me a bag of fucking lies. And, yeah, thanks. Bye.
Putting it in the mic stand too.
No, I'm going to try hands-free now for a bit. See how
I
that feels.
appreciate it. I feel like Larry King, where I'm just like kind of leaning forward too much, like screwing up my spine.
That's fair.
Yes.
I do feel like you look a lot more comfortable with the mic in the stand than Jesse looked with the mic out of the stand.
I don't, because I feel like I've got to sell more when I've got it out of the
You
stand.
already got the hand going.
Yeah, like I feel like I've really got to do a better sell job, but when I'm just like sitting, I can laugh and
Okay.
take it easy.
Fair enough. You do you, boo.
I was going to make the worst joke.
Go for it.
All right. You said sell job. Isn't that what your mom does? Oh, but see, it's bad. And that's why I didn't want to do it. And you're both silent now. And
That's because my mom is very sweet to both of you.
yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, how dare you?
We'll cut it out. We'll cut it out.
Don't
I'm
let
gonna
Jesse's
show her.
mom see that.
No. All right. Well, now that I've ruined the flow with a terrible shitty joke, did you have anything that you specifically wanted to talk about to get off your chest? Anything fun recently happened or anything?
Trip to
interesting?
Scandinavia, which we kind of touched on before we were
Yeah.
rolling the talk show.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. How about this, huh? On my trip. I did Norway for a week, just for the people at home. Norway for a week, Stockholm for 4 days, Berlin for like another 3. So, what is it with Europeans? No, what is it with people the world over and fucking carbonated water? Soda water, sparkling water. It's stupid. It's bullshit. It tastes bad.
I agree.
Agreed?
Disagree.
Really?
I quit booze and now like sparkling water is my treat.
That's
Is it a
treat?
tech?
Yes,
I wouldn't use treat.
it is.
What a sad treat.
I don't disagree with you, but it's my treat now.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I don't know.
As
If
a
I
treat
called my
tonight,
if I called my cat and I was like, "Use a treat," you know,
Yeah.
and then I pulled out some club soda, I think my cat would murder me.
It depends on the brand.
I don't
Yeah.
think it does.
to me, it sounds like as a treat tonight, I'm gonna have an extra bowl of gruel.
And that's fine.
No, it's not. That's what
Try
I'm saying.
Spindrift. We're gonna get them to sponsor the talk show. Spindrift,
Okay.
Okay.
very good sparkling water.
I like the drop from Tesla to Spindrift. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, we were trying Pepsi, and then that's a Coke product, so
Can you
we're
flip that
all
around?
over the map.
Yeah.
Turn it away from the camera. We
And
don't want
then
them to
drink
know.
it whole side up. Does anybody ever try that? I'm not about to.
That is interesting.
Not worth the bit.
Pepsi made sure, like if you look, the sip here, the stuff is right under it.
That can't
So
be
when
an
you sip
intentional
it,
thing.
when you sip it,
Yeah, I don't think
logo's
anyone's
right out.
at the warehouse carrying like.
Yeah. Yeah, I
If
don't
someone's
think-
got a talk show and they're gonna drink this, which way is it facing?
they should. I bet it would work.
I mean, now that you mention it, that is pretty smart.
Yeah, put it on the outside like
Always
this,
on the outside.
or like
Yeah.
on the side, and it's like, you know.
Yeah. What is the Pepsi logo even supposed to be? Is it just? This is just a thing.
Maybe it's like a. It was like river, and then like the air, and then the sun. You know?
How lovely.
Yeah.
Pepsi is life. Pepsi is nature.
Oh shit! If they don't sponsor us after this, I don't know how we're ever gonna get Pepsi.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah. They should put that in their marketing. I feel like that's what it is.
I like that you're
Was it
holding
like
it
it's a
so
tennis
we
ball?
can see it, but no one else.
Maybe it's just one of those red and blue balls that you have in school. You know,
That's what I was
the
gonna
hockey
say.
with.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it really hurt if you got hit by them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play Red Ass?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Fun game.
there'd always be the kid that would throw at everyone's head for some reason, just
Oh, yeah.
unhinged.
And then they go, "Oh, whoops!"
Yeah.
Like it was an accident.
Yeah.
They locked in. They
Yeah.
knew what they were doing.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. We
were
used to play
going-
this game, and oh man, it's a wonder we didn't snap each other's necks. There were 2 games that we played.
Okay.
Number one, when one of the Mortal Kombats came out, and for the longest time we would go up behind each other and do like a neck snap, a full
Okay.
grab him by the
Jeez.
chin,
Yeah.
back of the head, and snap as hard as you could. And it's
Goddamn.
like. It was dangerous. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
sometimes, like, one of us got somebody else where they were like sore for the rest of the day, and they were like, "You really got me. I think you did something." And we'd be like, "Ah, idiot, weak neck over here."
That is how it is. Like when you're a kid, because it's never I've made a mistake and hurt you. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
always what's up with your weak neck. What happened there?
Yeah,
What
it's a
went
you
wrong
problem.
with your childhood that you got a weak neck now?
Or the kid that got like hit and then starts crying, then everyone's like, "Cry, baby."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, his tooth is on the floor. You
Yeah,
know?
Yeah, I know,
bloody
right?
blip.
We used to play this other game. Oh man, it was called Shufflin'. And
Shufflin'?
everybody would pack onto in the wintertime onto an ice. Excuse me. See, that's how you burp. Politely,
okay. I'm
quietly.
I'm sorry.
Everybody would gather on an ice patch, and the rules were your feet couldn't lift off the ground. You had to like slide kick people,
Yeah.
basically sweep kicking each other on this ice patch.
Okay.
And the other rule was you had to yell shuffling when you did. So you'd go shuffling, and just everybody would just kick each other's legs out from underneath them.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I feel like 1 or 2 kids lost a tooth for sure
For
at
sure.
one point.
And
How
you guys
many-
would play LMFAO while you did it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Too recent a reference, I'm sure. but-
Shuffling.
Yeah, because we were 28 at the time.
I was like, I remember being in grade 4 and LMFAO was the shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're like, must have been fun.
Yeah. The dances were full of Gangnam Styles and shuffles. So
Oh my goodness.
they're the best school dances.
I was in college when Gangnam Style came out.
Really?
Yeah.
I was like grade 8. Grade
Oh.
8 dance.
I'm trying to remember too. Yeah, maybe I was in university at the time.
Oh my goodness.
You said you're 30?
29.
29? Yeah, so I would have been, yeah. I'm old. Fuck.
Say it to the camera. How old?
I'm 30, 35 years old, bitch. Fuck you.
Val, you've got that. I want to quote a joke that you have, but I realize, you know what? Just go to the album recording September 15th and 16th, and you will do the joke. But there's a joke about you still being very young because you transitioned a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been keeping that in the rotation or no?
That's one of the bits that I keep forgetting. I write it on my hand. This is what a professional I am. I still write shit on my hand. And then I just kind of pluck bits out of my head to do in whatever order. And that one is one I always forget to do. But I keep changing the age. Because I wrote that joke like, I'm going to say 4 years ago.
Okay.
But you know how we like it.
Yeah.
Make it a more recent thing than it is. So I
Last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind spoiling it. Do you want to do it? Do it.
Yeah, do
I
the
can't-
joke.
Do the joke.
No, I can't do it as well as you can.
I know. So do
That's why
it.
this is going to be fun for us.
Okay, send Evan the clip of you doing that joke and then me doing it to you two who will just be laughing when I fuck it up.
I'll
Okay,
put
but
them
do it,
side
though.
by side.
But
Yeah.
okay, in the joke, are you 2 or 3? Because I can't remember the age.
2.
2, okay. It's just Val going when you're talking about like drag queens being mean to you, and you're just going like, I'm 2.
That's it. That's the one.
Do you want me to come out and do it during your recording?
Yes.
And I'll just through one of the trap doors at Comedy Bar Danforth just emerge.
Yeah, or we'll like style goop you from the ceiling. How's
Yeah. Put him in a diaper and with wings.
Yeah, all that. As long as you're cool with all that, yeah, let's do it.
I like that with my monotone energy, doing anyone else's act always ruins it.
You did put your back into it a little bit. I recognize some
tried.
inflection. That
I
was
picked
good.
up the mic stand and everything.
You did.
I was like, I'm 2.
You did. And you inflected a little bit too.
A little, as much as I can.
It was great. It
I
was
saw an
great, though.
eyebrow raise, I think.
Yeah.
I'm so monotone. I told my friend my dog died once and he thought I was joking.
Oh no.
Yeah. He's like, where's your dog? I'm like, she died. And he's like, oh, no, really, where is she? I'm like,
See? Okay. So
That's really funny.
I know.
Do you have a bit about that?
I've tried it on stage a few times. Nobody thinks dogs dying is funny.
yeah.
That's fair.
I have
I
to make
don't
it like a
blame them.
cat.
Just like 40 John Wicks in the room.
Yeah.
They all hate you now.
This is why I'm so gullible in life. I fall for everything. I can get
Yeah.
fucked with so easily because in a situation like that, would you rather, as your friend, the one who laughed,
Yeah.
would you rather be the one who laughs at you being serious about a tragedy,
Yeah.
or would you rather be the one who believes you when you're joking? You know what I mean? Would you rather be the one who like laughs in somebody's face when they're being honest, or the one who sympathizes and then they're like,
They're the
"You're
gullible.
you fucking idiot. My dog didn't die."
So
You know?
the question is, would you rather be gullible or rude?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
precisely.
I
Okay.
think gullible.
See, I would rather
Yeah.
be gullible every time.
Because the
Yeah.
gullible person's never an asshole. It's always the rude person that's the asshole, I think.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd rather be gullible.
But my friends and I also lied to each other all the time because it was high school. Like, we'd just try and convince people of, like, shit that happened that never happened.
Oh, so you
Okay.
did it to yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And then my inflection doesn't help, but
No.
Yeah, you're too deadpan to deliver bad news.
yeah.
There was so Nate, my old roommate, had a very similar kind of delivery style in terms of like being monotoned, and I wrote him a tag that was like, my voice is so boring that one time I asked a dog if it wanted a treat and it did not get excited at all.
That's funny.
But I think yours is funnier. But you say it doesn't work because the dog dies in the joke?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh man, lame crowds. No, I'm sorry.
I think there's a way to make it work.
Yeah, I think it's really funny, man.
The focus is not so much about the dog. It could be any kind of tragedy. As long as you make it about just how your delivery.
That's true.
You know? Put it deep in your set so people are used to you already.
That's fair, yeah. I will take that advice.
Don't put it next to the three-legged dog joke.
Yeah, people will think
Yeah.
it's my current dog.
Yeah, split.
Yeah.
My
split them
sweet,
out.
sweet Prince Scooter.
Aw.
Yeah, Scooter
Aw.
is missing a leg. It's the greatest thing because it's really cute. Not for the dog, I'm sure, but
Oh, he's still super fast.
Yeah?
oh yeah,
Yeah. Like, he can probably make it like 50 yards in like 3 seconds.
Holy shit.
But he's missing a front leg, so it's like the back leg is the power, and then he
Gotcha.
no agility. He's got no
Yeah,
agility.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
straight line, he can go like
like a straight.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
that's funny.
Can he pump the brakes? I guess agility is part being able to like slam on the brakes.
Well, the funny thing is, you'll just see like these long in like a backyard. You'll just always see like this long strip where it's just he uses his front leg as a brake, and it just like hits the ground and just shaves grass up.
Oh
Oh,
jeez.
No,
that would make me so nervous.
he's
Yeah.
fine though. Like,
Yeah, but that would make me so
You
nervous.
know, like pop his knee
yeah,
out
I'll show
one
you.
time.
He's my
Yeah,
sweet
exactly.
boy.
That's so much. Oh,
Show to the camera. Show to the camera.
cutie.
Nice.
I can just send you the picture.
Yeah, that works.
My baby boy.
Awesome.
What's behind me?
Oh, we got some decorations. See, we have an Evan Almighty poster to remind
Classic.
everyone who is
Who is-
Almighty.
Oh, yeah. I did not put that together.
That's all Evan ever wanted with this podcast is for people to be like, Evan.
Yeah. No one,
You
not
didn't
one
put
person
it
has come
together.
up. We got some Time magazines.
Okay.
My nana gave me those, so
Cool.
they're up there.
To commemorate John Lennon's demise. That's cool.
Yeah, sure. We got some Funkos. We got a bunch of stand-up books.
Saskatchewan license plate.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love
that's
it.
Canada.
No,
Right.
I had a fake ID and it said I was from Saskatchewan, so that's
Oh,
why
cool.
I got the license plate.
I one time, this was pre-transition, of course. I used my older brother's ID to try and buy booze.
Okay.
And the lady asked me what his middle name was. And I didn't even know my own brother's goddamn middle name. So I stared at her blankly and I was like, I'm going to go. And I just took it from her and left.
That's funny.
Lucky that they didn't steal it from you, though.
Yeah.
Like so many
Yeah, it just
places, they
kinda-
just grab it and like cut it up and be like, "Sorry, this isn't you." You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she thought it was kind of funny. I hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's someone young enough that like doesn't need the job, then you're cool. But if
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
somebody who's like crusty and been there a while, they'll be like, "No."
Yeah. she
Just like a
was
45-year-old who's got an LCBO pension waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Free booze and grocery stores. Wait, we should probably stop talking about kids underage drinking. It's wrong. Drink
Don't
a
do it.
Pepsi.
Drink Prime.
Drink a Pepsi. Drink a carbonated water if you're a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
As a treat.
If you're clinically ill, have a treat. Get yourself some soda water. That's
I'm
good.
gonna bring you both Spindrift, and you will know what I'm talking about.
Why
Why would you
is
waste
it
two spin
named
drifts?
I don't know.
Sorry.
Why is it named after fucking Fast and Furious 5? Why is it called Spindrift?
Tokyo Spindrift.
Yeah.
Spindrift just sounds like what happened to Paul Walker.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh no.
That's my second joke that hasn't landed today.
You can make fun of dead dogs all you want, but you
Yeah.
leave Paul Walker alone.
Paul Walker alone.
I think Paul Walker's one of those dudes that just had like the highest approval rating too. Everyone thought he was cool.
Yeah.
I vaguely recall people calling him like a himbo and saying that he's a bad actor and a moron, and then he died, and everyone was like, "But he's the greatest." Him.
Yeah. I can feel that, but I don't know. As a kid, I always thought Paul Walker was really cool. I thought Vin Diesel was lame.
Yeah, he looked like an egg.
Yeah.
I remember Chronicles of Riddick I thought was going to be stupid, but I actually liked that one. That was all right.
Okay.
But also he looks like an egg.
A little bit. He does.
And then I found out that he's a big D&D nerd. And then I was like, all right, he's cool again.
All right. He likes D&D.
Yeah.
I can't hate on him too much.
Dungeons and Dragons. Never played it.
No?
The hunk guy that's married to Sofia Vergara is a D&D guy too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forget his
Oh,
name.
Joe something.
Yeah, we'll put him up.
Angie, something Italian.
Yeah.
Which guy? Who is married to Sofia Vergara? Who is this guy? Show me.
Joe Manganiello, I
I
think.
need to see.
Yeah, he's a hunk and he plays Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to see the man who landed Sofia Vergara.
Handsome fella.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Joe
Oh, god damn. Oh, wow, yeah.
Manganiello. I'm definitely screwing up his name.
Oh, yeah.
He's
smoking
definitely
hot.
not doing the talk show now.
Yeah, we're gonna get sponsored by him, Pepsi, Tesla, and fucking Swift Drift or whatever the fuck it is.
Swift Drift.
That'd be the Taylor Swift edition.
Yeah.
The water that tries so hard to be cool. Swift Drift.
Swift Drift.
I'm making fun of you too much. I feel bad now. The way you just looked at me broke my heart.
No, I'm gonna bring it to your album recording.
Okay.
And you're gonna say this is the greatest post-show drink I've ever had.
Okay. Fair. Cool.
Yeah.
I doubt it, but okay. I'll be fair. I'll be fair. I'll try it.
But when she goes, "This tastes like dirty water," you're not allowed to be upset.
That's fine.
Yeah.
If I do not have a show either night of your recordings, I will be there.
Cool. Yeah, come. And make sure you laugh, though.
I will. I'll be right beside like, one of the microphones that's recording. Just be like, ha ha ha.
Oh, it's gonna sound so sarcastic after every joke. You just hear ah, and then you're like, oh no, it ruined.
Yeah.
This joke I remember doing better in Kitchener.
Yeah. Talk over my I'm too joke.
Me and Jesse
Do it.
will sit on either side of the mic. He'll whisper over to me, "This did better at Old Sod."
Yeah.
Is it exciting to have like your own content? Because I know you've recorded for Just for Laughs, CBC, but to just know that like everything you're gonna do is gonna be yours specifically.
Yeah, it is exciting. I mean, I don't know if I'm like crossing over some contractual legal shit, but I'm doing a lot of the same material.
Oh yeah.
But it's not getting monetized. So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's the loophole. It's going to be available for free on YouTube. I just want everybody
Yeah.
to see it. That's all.
Yeah.
And then I'll make my money through the Sirius XM plays.
Yep.
That'll make the money. And I'm more concerned. This is my strategy. I'm more concerned with just exposure. I'm paying myself in exposure.
Yeah.
So I'm
like
going to
the
chop it.
great businesswoman you are.
Exactly. Yeah. Every comedian's dream is to break that cycle, and me, I'm just leaning into it even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna chop it into 1,000,000 pieces and post it all over social media, and I'm all about. I'm just gonna use it to grow an audience, and then I firmly believe, with no money savvy whatsoever, but I believe that money will come later when you have an audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does, and I think the way your socials will grow with that much content being pumped out onto it in a short time frame will be like it's not something you could pay for anyways.
Yeah.
You know, so that kind of exposure I do think is worth it, especially when you get to, because it's not easy to monetize on all platforms.
Yeah,
but once you get to a
absolutely.
point where you can monetize on your own platforms, it's
Yeah.
a great revenue stream.
Well, and like I've seen you work out that same material going through like London, Guelph, and like to be a trans comic and have like broy dudes laugh at your shit has got to be like the highest compliment, I'm guessing.
I like it. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I'm always impressed with comics. Like I can tour around like small town Ontario and just seem like, you know, anyone else walking down the street, and I know that like there's built-in laughs because of that. So I'm sure that when you go into places where you're like, I'm not sure if they're necessarily liberal, and then to get people to laugh anywhere, like that's got to be a special feeling.
Yeah, it is. It, you know, in the end, I don't presume to know anything about what these people are like. But at the same time, the amount of times I've had somebody come up to me after a show and be like, I've never met one of you before, but you seem cool and you made me laugh. And then they'll misgender me for the rest of the night. But it's, but it's still like it's kind of double-sided, where on the one hand, I kind of presume unfairly or not that they probably have a couple problematic opinions about people like me.
Yeah.
But I do see the value in my act, and I think that it is it is pretty universal, and the premises that I've written are kind of they're more about gender dynamics than specifically trans stuff, because I'm going from one end of the spectrum to the other. So it's really all observations on gender dynamics. It's kind of hacky when you get down to it, where I'm like, women be shopping and men like sports. That's my hour. That's my thesis. Men like sports.
I like that we've been plugging your recording, and the two things you've said is I'm paying myself an exposure and my act is hacky, but come see it. Obviously I'm being fucking facetious. I think it's great. My act is super fun. I'm very proud of it. But I think
you should be. It's fantastic.
Thanks. It's a fine line. I don't want to be one of those pick me bitches. You know what I mean? Who lets people get away with a lot of bullshit just because they like me. Yeah. And I am a people pleaser, so I do feel myself sort of compromising some of my values just to be liked sometimes, and that's a problem. That's an issue I'm working on. But like, it is a invigorating feeling like I am sort of reaching out to people who would otherwise never consider me a human being to begin with, you know?
Yeah, it must feel good to, like, as much as it sucks obviously that they misgender you for the rest of the night, it must be partially a nice feeling knowing that you're their first baby step.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? On the occasion that if we're having like a couple drinks after a show, I'm mostly joking about they'll misgender me thing, but for somebody who will look me in the eyes and be like, I've never met one of you before, but you seem nice and cool, and can I buy you a drink? And then the first time that they actually gender me correctly, I understand that it's like a deliberate thing for them.
Yeah.
He's like probably trying really hard.
Yeah.
And so I'll give people that grace, because I understand that it's foreign to them, and I can't expect them to just get it right away. So it's nice.
I like looking at their transphobia as like a childlike ignorance.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, you're so cute. You're trying. You know, like, it's so funny to me to like look an adult man in the eye and be like, oh, buddy, you're trying so hard. Thank you. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Val, do you feel lucky that you transitioned when you were already headlining shows and you were already like a force on stage?
I think so. Yeah. I think so, because I've already built a lot of goodwill with everybody over the course of my career. And so I think I already had a lot of really good relationships. I had a good network that's like put me out on stage and I don't know, propped me up. That's a tough question. The answer is yes, but I don't know how to articulate it.
That's completely fair, because you were already hilarious, and then being able to play with those gender dynamics and being 12 years into comedy at that point in time, I just found that you were able to have people sympathize but not seem preachy, which is a very fine line for anyone doing comedy when they're talking about something that's near and dear to them. Mm-hmm. So I always just found that to be very interesting. Like, you remind me of Patrice O'Neill in the sense where I can watch Patrice O'Neill. He'll talk about like the struggles of being a black man in America, and it'll just be like this feeling of like, oh, that's so fucking funny, but like there's that like uncomfortability that it's so tough to fully relate to, but it's still so fucking funny that overrides not being able to relate to someone's struggles.
Sure. And first of all, I mean, thank you for the generous comparison. But I think to answer your question now that to your point, it helps that I transitioned as late into the stand-up game as I did, because by then I knew mostly my voice.
Right.
I just didn't have any substantial personal material. Like, I knew how to deliver a joke. I knew how to be on stage. I knew how to entertain. But I wasn't giving people me.
Yeah.
You know? So now with the mask off, the material finally started catching up.
Yeah.
So that's the answer to your question, is that, like, it's good that I transitioned when I did, because I already knew how to write a joke, and now I was writing jokes about stuff that mattered.
Yeah.
You know?
I can relate in my own little way, in like, because I was already middling with Yucks before I started doing the musical comedy, but it was always something in the back of my mind as something that I wanted to do. And I'm glad that I was already decent enough at comedy before I started adding the guitar, because it could have been really bad to, like, 1 year in, go out with a guitar and just eat shit for 5 minutes at an open mic, and everyone's like, oh, he's the shitty guitar guy. That's Evan.
Yeah.
So,
totally.
Yeah, I'm happy there was the little bit of building blocks to stand on before jumping off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Musical comics are discriminated against unfairly. You're right.
Shut up. You shut up. You shut up, Jesse.
Although stand-ups are purists, no? Like, how often do you get people who kind of roll their eyes at your musical?
All the time. Every time I show up anywhere with a guitar.
Yeah.
Every single time people think I'm gonna suck.
Yeah.
And then when it goes well, they're like, they always go, oh, I was really shocked.
Yeah.
You know? like you were actually good, and I hate the word actually so much.
Oh God,
it's
actually.
so patronizing.
Yeah.
Actually is worse than when someone's like, you were great too.
Yeah, that too.
But it's like they were just talking to the headliner for like 10 minutes, and then they were like, you were great too. And you're like, you could have said nothing and it would have made me feel better.
Yeah. Totally.
Should we plug the shows one more time?
Yes.
Yeah, let's plug the shows. Come on down to, if you're in Toronto, come on down. What am I, a fucking used car salesman?
Bob Barker passed away, so you were just being channeled by him.
Yeah. Come on down to the big wheel.
Yeah.
Comedy Bar Danforth, if you're in Toronto or the GTA, I am performing September 15th and 16th at 7 p.m. You can get tickets at comedybar.ca. It's called Al Val's So Brave special album taping. There's a search bar on the comedy website. You just type in Al Val, you'll find it. Tickets are $23 in advance. They're $28 at the door, so get them in advance. They are going to sell out. It's my special taping. There are going to be cameras. It's going to be awesome. So show up.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you, Al Val, for joining Can't Clip It. I've been Jesse Ralph.
I've been Evan Dubois.
We're sponsored by Prime.
Wigan. I do want to say,
And I'm Al Val.